All right. Welcome, everybody. This is the second in our series of informational Zooms to let you know about our winter health reset. My name is Christina Amon, and I have been supporting over 16,000 people to do these health resets over the past 7 years. And I have been doing these health resets myself just about seasonally for the past 7 years. And I feel amazing. When I got started with these programs, I was already eating organic. I'm a farmer with my husband and our family, and we were already growing a lot of our own food and purchasing from other farmers in our area or trading. So I thought of myself as pretty healthy and doing just about everything I knew what to do to be healthy. So I wasn't really sure that these superfoods could help me. And I wasn't really quite honest with myself, even about what I could use, what I could get help for. I had nothing really acute going on, but I did have a few kind of mild issues that, since they weren't acute, I had pretty much settled for, I guess this is the best I can hope for to be feeling in life now that I've had 2 children and I'm 40 years old. So I guess this is probably the aging process, and I'm probably going to have to live with things like this, and I might be on the decline from here on out. That was sort of the story I was telling myself because I already thought I was doing everything I could do to be healthy. Well, a few days into the products, I really had my mind blown how different I felt, and I wasn't expecting that. I had more energy. I was waking out of bed like with a spring in my step. I felt lighter. Joint pain was gone. I was watching, just a little bit of excess weight disappear and melt and turn into muscle, getting athleticism. I had brain fog disappear. I had my emotions come into balance. I had kind of brown striation in my teeth turn white. The list goes, glowing skin rashes disappear. The list goes on and on. A lifetime of digestive issues fade away. Bloating and constipation just eased. Everything became regular. So needless to say, I was shockingly stoked and curious. What is it about these superfoods that causes somebody like me, who I thought was already doing all the healthy things, to have such radical results? And then, of course, I've heard thousands of testimonials of people having even more extreme results, shifting their lifestyle even more extremely. But why somebody like me could see such extreme results? So I dug deep and I found out there's about 4 or 5 reasons why Purium superfoods stand apart from really anything else out there on the market. And I want to just go over those really briefly before I turn it over to my co-host to share about, why now is such a powerful time to dive in here. So number 1, the purity standards. This company is mission driven. They're not here for profit. They're here to up-level the vitality of humanity. So needless to say, they have no interest in allowing any contamination of any kind into their products. Most companies do allow a percentage of contamination in order to increase profit margin, but not this company. They have a 5-tiered system of detecting any kind of contaminants or poisons, toxins, anything, mold. And if anything is detected, that entire batch is thrown out. So the purity standards is huge. Number 2, the method of dehydration. Most powders are dehydrated with heat. They consider it still a living or raw product if the heat is in a certain temperature range. Our products are dehydrated without heat at a very low temperature, over here in this range, with wind. So the wind is actually in the silo blowing the juice crystals and separating it from the water. And so what you have is these juice crystals that when you then rehydrate with water, when you then make a shake, it becomes a living food again. And you feel it almost instantaneously because of the high nutrient content and the high enzyme content that's preserved. So those are 2 things right there. Number 3 is the soil that the food is grown in. This is regeneratively grown soil, decades under the same family farm care, constantly adding nutrients back into the soil, green manuring, no-tilling, organic, composting, rotating crops, letting fields go fallow in order to help rebuild the soil. And to begin with, it's in a location that's hundreds of miles away from any industrial pollutants and on this ancient lava lake bed that has 99 feet of compressed topsoil that is so mineral rich and dense with nutrients. So that is the third reason that these superfoods are amazing and help me understand why I could feel so deeply nourished for the first time in my life, even though I had, experimented with every diet out there. And then the last 2 points that I want to make is that we have the first and only product that removes glyphosate from the gut. So if you're not familiar with this, it's what is basically the chemical constituent of Roundup, the biggest herbicide that is sprayed around the world. And it basically acts as a very heavy duty antibiotic, just killing off your gut flora and making it really hard, also burning the gut villi, which are responsible for the absorption and assimilation of nutrients. So even if you're eating the most amazing, expensive organic diet, if you've had that gut damage, you're not getting that nutrition. And how do we know if we've had that gut damage from glyphosate? Well, most of us are exposed. It's in 75 to 90% of the foods. Our soils are depleted and highly over chemicalized with industrial agriculture, and the chemical companies really in there with the government getting it into the soil. So it's in a lot of the food, it's in the soil, it's a water soluble chemical. So despite claims of it being safe, it's actually found everywhere, even in organic food, even in breast milk, even in umbilical cords. So no matter how much we try to avoid it, most of us are exposed. And so we have the first and only product that pulls it out of the gut. So it's a really amazing protection and gut repair system, this one product. And then the fifth thing I want to mention before I turn it over to Leela is that we have a non-GMO compostable packaging. The company is so committed to its carbon footprint that they have a commitment to go plastic free, and they're 99.9 something percent there, of creating a packaging that's made out of hemp, bamboo, and tree sap that you can just put in your home compost. And it actually, after the soil is tested, improves your soil fertility. If you're putting it in your backyard or in your compost. So Purium's amazing. I felt incredible. I've been very passionate about sharing these superfoods and particularly this ultimate lifestyle transformation with people for 7 years. And let me pass it over to Leela, a really passionate, nurturing partner of mine who's also a mother and works with her students in Pilates and aerial silks, and has been just a really beautiful pioneer of these products. So take it away, Leela.
Thank you so much, Christina. It's an honor to be here. And yes, my name is Leela, and I have been blessed to have these superfoods and all of the gifts that Christina mentioned from this company in my life for over 3 years, about 3.5 years. And just real quick about my story is that it's very similar actually to Christina's in that I thought I was doing a lot of the right things, being a Pilates and dance instructor and eating really clean, but ultimately not really feeling like as good as I thought I should feel considering everything that I was doing. And I always wrote it off. My story was that, oh, well, I'm just a mom and moms are just supposed to feel depleted. And I'm supposed to have mom brain, like that brain fog. I always just called it mom brain. And I was just accepting it. And I wasn't aware of all of the things, you know, the glyphosate and the fact that my gut was not even absorbing all the nutrients I was putting in and all of those things. So similar to Christina, I was like, oh, well, you know, I'll give it a try, see what happens. And within a week, I mean, I felt like a completely different person. Honestly, everything shifted from, yeah, the mental clarity. So, you know, I used to drink a ton of coffee. I would drink coffee to go and teach my classes so that my brain would turn on. And then all of a sudden, about a week in, I realized I didn't need the coffee. I was still making it, but I would get to the studio where I was teaching and realize I hadn't even had it. I was just still sitting in my cup holder. And those kinds of things were big aha moments for me of realizing, like, oh, if I'm nourished so deeply by these plant medicines, I don't need to have the coffee and then the sugars. I used to love to have my shakes. I have my aminos, you know, I'm waking up also, like Christina said, waking up feeling vital instead of sluggish. Every morning before I take care of everybody else and do everything I do, I honor my body, I nourish my body with these, and it's the best way to start my day. I feel like I'm a better mom, I'm a better friend, I'm a better teacher. And honestly, it just kept getting better and better. Like it was immediate results, but then months in, I even started noticing, yeah, like losing a little bit of that mom weight that I had just accepted was a part of my story as well. Little things just kept getting better. My hair grew really long. Um, anyway, so that's kind of why I wanted to be sharing this with people. And I do the transformation, the ultimate lifestyle transformation, about twice a year. That's been feeling really good for me, and I'm really looking forward to doing it starting this month in December, actually as a birthday present to myself. And I like to kind of think about that too, like in that regard of like we are giving ourselves a gift when we do something this nourishing and this powerful for like our system to reset. So I'm thinking of it in that regard for myself as this birthday present, that I'll be really honoring my body and tuning it, you know, like tuning an instrument. So a couple of the reasons that I think this time of year is a really perfect time to do it. Obviously, it gets colder in some places, at least where I am. It gets colder. It might be, you know, a time when your immune system struggles because we don't get as much sun and whatnot. And then what I've found with these superfoods, especially the gut support, the one that strips, you know, glyphosate and restores the gut microbiome, that is the source of our immune system, right? It stems from the gut. And I've found over the last few winters that I'm not getting all the colds. I haven't honestly, like I want to knock on wood, because I honestly haven't gotten sick since I've been on this lifestyle. I've felt like one or two times, you know, maybe a tickle in my throat. And my little secret, by the way, is I just do extra of the apothecary whenever I feel that. And within 24 hours, that goes away. So that's just a part of our beautiful lifestyle transformation. Um, but so supporting the immune system is a big part of why I think it's important this time of year. And also to add to that is like energetically, the boost that we get, that vital life force that comes back that we've been talking about. You know, what better time to have that extra energy, you know, when it is busier generally, we're maybe in more yeah, like settings where we're talking to more people, interacting more, gathering more. You know, it's nice to have the energy to show up fully for all of those things and to feel, you know, just like you have the capacity, not like, oh, you're dragging yourself, you know, to the next event or the next thing. To feel not just the energetics in the body, but also emotionally. That's a big piece that I've noticed, is having the emotional capacity to really be present. I feel like I'm a more patient person now than I used to be. I've noticed even with my kids and my mom and like certain people that can trigger me. that they're less triggering because the gut also, being responsible for our hormone production and things like that. I think it's just the best thing we can do to support ourselves. And again, when it's busy and maybe we're also eating other things that our bodies don't love, there's more temptation, I should say, during the holidays. So for me, if I prep myself for that time, then I'm actually able to allow myself some of those extra things. And I feel like my body processes it in a much more efficient way. And I've really noticed that after every reset, if I choose to have whatever it may be, a treat or some wine or whatever it is, that I don't feel as tired the next day, or, the effects of those things are lessened. So it's a nice thing to do before we get into maybe the more rich foods and activities. And other than that, I think that was the bulk of what I wanted to share. But the other beautiful thing is just that when we do this in community, it also feels really nice. And that's what we're offering. Sometimes in the winter, you can be more isolated or feel more isolated. So just knowing that you have this community and accountability and connection with a group of people that are doing the same thing can feel really supportive as well. And I think I'll leave it at that for now. Thanks for letting me share.
Beautiful. Thank you, Leela. I love that. And yeah, not only can this help us with some of those kind of aggravants that we maybe know aren't so great for us, and it can be easier. And I've also noticed it eliminates our cravings for it. My body, there's so many things now that my body's like, nope, I have zero interest in that anymore. And that is one of the greatest liberations, is to not have to use willpower or discipline to overcome cravings and temptations, but to just actually, for it to be gone completely and for my body to be in sync with what it actually needs to thrive optimally. So let me dive into exactly what this package is and what you can expect to get in your box and how you can expect to use it and how you can expect to plug in with this community that Leela spoke of. We have 4 core products that are coming in your box, and then a 5th add-on. It's actually part of the program, but it serves a separate function. So 4 daily products that you're going to be taking. You're going to wake up in the morning and have your super aminos. These are the best way for your body to build protein. So contrary to popular belief, the best way to get protein into your body isn't to actually ingest protein, it's to ingest amino acids, which give your body the ability to produce protein. These amino acids are 99% bioavailable, pre-digested, meaning it's not going to tax your liver and kidneys like most other ingestible proteins do. So you're getting maximum energy, brain food, skin elasticity. They're incredible. They burn fat and build muscle even when you don't work out. What? So that's the first product. Second product is the greens, the power shake, or you might do a little customization and include like a dark berry protein shake. So you have a little bit of options there. These shakes they're gonna help you feel full. They're full of micronutrients, phytonutrients. They're giving you that full spectrum of like what you need in the day, so that whether you have another meal or not, or whether you eat some junk or not, you're getting the baseline of what your body really needs to thrive. They taste delicious. All you have to do is add water. And again, everything is way beyond organic and just super amazing. So that's the shakes. Third product, I already spoke about, that Biomedic, that's pulling out the glyphosate, repairing the gut microbiome. Everybody in the world should be on this product. Fourth product that Leela mentioned, the Apothecary. This is one single ingredient, tart cherry. It's a concentrate. You just add water. It looks like wine, and you have it before bed. It puts your body into a deep state of REM cycle, sleeping, where your body is repairing and regenerating all the cells that were damaged during the day from just being human, just the regular stresses of being human. You're replenishing, and that's why this is anti-aging. It's the highest antioxidant. and anti-inflammatory. So it's giving your body, it's the food that's highest in helping your body produce natural melatonin as opposed to taking synthetic melatonin, and gives you that really deep sleep so that you wake up super refreshed and energized because you actually got a good night's sleep. That was the first product that I noticed, hands down, like, whoa, that worked. This is amazing. And that's gold for a lot of us. Have a good night's sleep. So those are your basic 4 products. And then the 5th one is called Super Cleansar. It's another herbal formula that comes in a capsule, and you're only going to take that one for 10 days. This is a formulation of anti-parasitic, anti-candida, antifungal, anti-mold herbs that are going to actually go in and break up any junk that has gotten stagnant in your colon and help flush that out. You're going to feel amazing after doing this portion of the detox. And you're going to help flush it out by, lots of hydrating foods and liquids. And during this entire time, you're still eating whole food. So that was my biggest fear. I was like, I cannot go hungry. I don't want to be weak. I don't want to be grumpy. I'm a mom. I have to show up. Don't worry. You get to eat food. You get to eat whole food. You get to chew. You can eat meals. You can sit down at the table with people. You can go out to eat. You can go to parties. Like, it's very user-friendly, this transformation. And it is not a depletion program. It is not an elimination program. It is not restrictive. It's about giving in to your body what you didn't have before so that you actually feel satiated. And then your body can release what it doesn't need. So it's not about taking away from you, it's about giving to you. And I know when I first heard those words, I was in tears. I felt like I had spent so many years going after the bad stuff in my body to feel healthy. And this is the first time that I was being told, just give to yourself, mama, like feed yourself, nourish yourself. And most of us are depleted and deficient. And it makes sense that this is the approach that we would take and why it works so well. So what does it cost and how do we get started and what can we expect from the community? Well, the most foundational way to get started is with our basic ultimate lifestyle transformation. Most people start with a 90-day commitment. So you pay for your first 30 days up front and you set yourself up for a 2nd and 3rd month auto ship. Why do we set it up for this way? Well, most of us have probably accumulated our symptoms over potentially decades, if years, if not decades. So we want to give ourselves at least 90 days to unpack what's going on there to really see the best results. And I'll let you know that I'm actually on, 7 years times 12 months of however many months that is. I've been basically consuming the amount of products of the ULT for 7 whole years. Not necessarily the Super Cleansar. That's an occasional reset, but all the rest, and that 2nd and 3rd month is not going to have another packet of the Super Cleansar because that's a focused gut detox. You wouldn't do that all the time, but the rest of the products are totally healthy and safe to just consume as your basic nutrient load. And now this is my basis. This is because it's coming from that incredible soil. While I'm still rebuilding the soil on my farm and I'm still eating other foods, like Leela said, or maybe it was somebody else, I don't like to go a day without these superfoods. You can feel the difference. They're so dense, so densely nutrifying. So the 90-day program, you're going to pay for your first month and set yourself up for 2nd and 3rd month. And that price is going to go down in the 2nd and 3rd month. That first month, if you're just getting our basic gut health ULT, we call it, that's going to be $360, which is $12 a day. Many people save money on their grocery bill. So at the end of the month, if you did all your accounting, you're no longer buying those chips, those candy bars, the alcohol, the Starbucks, you name it, whatever it is that you don't need as part of this program, and your appetite shrinks. Like you're getting so deeply satiated by the superfoods, you don't need to be eating as much whatever else to try to fill that, feel that satisfaction. So a lot of people, even though you purchase the products all at once, when you add up at the end of the month, have actually saved money. So You can also customize it and add on a certain focus for athleticism, for immune function, like Leela spoke to, or collagen building. So talk to the person sharing this with you for those specifics. Now, what can you expect from the group? We have a Facebook group you can plug into where you can see classes, recipes. We will have live Zooms where we can come together and set our intentions and ask questions and hold each other accountable and cheer each other on. We have a WhatsApp thread where you can go in and do the same thing. And, you know, the more that you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. We also, the company itself has many layers of support and information where you can get your questions answered, plug in, and maybe even invite people along the journey to go with you. So you can also learn about how you can get paid to share this with your friends and family and networks, maybe even get the cost of your products paid for, and maybe even create a stream of income for you and your family that could even replace any other streams of income and even become a primary income in your family, which is my story. Unexpectedly became our primary income stream. So if you want to hear more about how that business works, again, get with a person sharing this with you. Thank you for your time today. Leela, do you want to add any last closing thoughts?
I think the last thing I would share is, again, just kind of tapping on that idea of giving yourself a gift. So something, at least for me as a mom, as I notice, you know, I give a lot to others. And for years, I did neglect myself. And through this process of giving myself this nourishment, I've found that, you know, it's like a trickle effect, maybe you could, a ripple effect where, you know, it leads to more self-care and more loving yourself. And, you know, so in a time when we do give a lot, you know, we're gifting others. Maybe this is an opportunity for, you know, us to give to ourselves and to, yeah, focus on that self-love. And that's how we can then show up in such a better way, you know, in all that we're doing and all the ways that we're giving. And I think that would be my last thing I would
I
share.
love that. It's so true. In our society, we're so conditioned to put ourselves on the back burner. So if you need anything to help encourage you to put yourself at the center and create put yourself into a state of overflow so you continue to give through the season, the company actually has some incredible sales going on right now, just through the end of the day on Thursday. So just through the end of the month, when you order your ULT and you put yourself on the lifestyle subscription for the 90 days, you're going to get actually, that's what I'm drinking over here, our brand new product, which is our mushroom blend. It's a hot beverage and we have 3 different flavors and you're going to get a whole bundle of all 3 of them when you put yourself on the lifestyle subscription, and a free blender. These blenders are amazing. It's a handheld blender that you charge and is portable. You can carry with you. So it's a really great time to jump in on savings. The person sharing this with you has a 25% discount code for you as well off the retail price. And there's also all kinds of other savings that you might want to check into with our Green Friday specials happening right now. And you're also going to want to place your order by the end of this month to join our December health reset. So to get your products on time in order to join us, we're going to have an opening Zoom, and it'll be great to have your box with you at that point and be prepared to jump in and take the journey together. So that's it for now. Thanks again for being here. I'm going to close the recording, and if anybody has any questions, I'll take those.